welcome back to my channel, and I'm back again. Okay, nothing to be happy about. As you read in the title, today's video is a little different. We are going to talk about certain things, body shaming, skinny shaming in particular, body positivity, my story. I am no expert, first of all, so whatever I say is just going to be my personal experience with it, my story, my life, and my learnings, I guess. I'm doing this because lately I've received a bunch of messages from girls like me who want me to talk about this, have asked me questions about it. I've always replied, but I thought it was time for me to just sit down and write about it or just talk about it on the camera. And I think the Dolly, who was the same girl, very insecure, I think she also needs to hear this. So today I'm going to do that. I'm so not prepared for this. Okay, I may have said some problematic things in the video, but it's just because I'm so overwhelmed and I'm not really counting and balancing my words. So I'm sorry if I hurt someone or if I say something too offensive. I'm really sorry. So the first thing that I want to talk about is that people don't realize it, most of us, but body shaming actually starts from home. Mine started from my parents. Not that they don't love me or anything, they love me, but I feel parents don't, parents or your friends, like your relatives, your cousins, they don't realize what they are saying to you when they're saying it. For example, I remember my parents had a doctor friend and he had come over for lunch with his kids, his daughter who was my age. And when they were leaving, my father said, "Oh, unki beti to badi sundar hai na?" And honestly, I was so hurt because my father has never called me sundar or me beautiful. He still hasn't done it. It's not like he doesn't love me or he doesn't, I don't know, but it really stuck with me that my father is calling someone else beautiful and hasn't said the same thing about me ever. So, simple things like my mom would tell me, don't wear these jeans because you don't have hips, it doesn't look good on you, you are so skinny. It's just, it's sad that your parents actually unknowingly start that insecurity from within you. My relatives would come over and they would just go like, "Oh, mummy papa kuch khilate nahi hai," and all of those, those jokes would keep going on and they still are on. Nothing has changed. Once when I was at my cousin's wedding, I remember my bhabhi, my sister-in-law, she came up to me and she was like, there was a bunch of ladies sitting there, like all the ladies from the family were sitting in that room, and I was wearing this ethnic this suit with a deep neck, and I was so excited about it. And she goes, "Why are you wearing such a deep neck? You have nothing to show." And in front of everybody, and they had a good laugh about it. Somehow it was funny to them, not funny to me, of course, so I just exited. So yeah, I mean people don't realize when they're saying it, and it's also such a sad thing that calling a fat person fat is sad and is offensive, but a skinny person skinny or other names is not offensive at all. I'm sorry I'm saying this out loud, maybe it's just me who has felt it, but I have. Moving on, so yeah, I mean, as a kid I was growing up to be more and more insecure about my body. I hated my body, like hated it to the core. I was a good student at school, I was into athletics, I was into everything. I think I was trying to make up for what I did not have, which was a perfect body. In school everybody would make fun of it. I think it's just normal to make fun of you on your appearance. If I'm fighting with someone, if I'm in a debate with someone or just arguing with someone, if they can't have their way, they would come and talk about my body. They would just comment on my body and think that it would pull me down, and it did. Back then it did pull me down and tear me apart when people started talking about my body. There are little things which I still clearly remember. These things stick with you no matter where you reach, and today I love myself, but I still remember those things word to word. I was in 11th grade, and we were supposed to throw a farewell party for our seniors, and I was supposed to go on stage and read some title. I reached my school early in the morning and went to my teacher, who was in charge of arranging everything. And I'm sorry guys that I airplanes and noise, please bear with me on that. I was so excited. I went up to her, and because I was going to be on stage and perform and everything, I had saved up some money and I spent all of it on new clothes. I bought a new coat for myself, a pair of these skinny check jeans which were really into fashion back then, and a really crazy t-shirt with shoes on it. Yeah, like I was really into that. And then I went up to my teacher. I was the first of the few people who arrived early. And I went up to her and I was like, yes ma'am, so is there anything I can do? I can help? And she goes like, oh no, nothing, but you should change. And I was like, but this is what I'm wearing, so I don't think I need to change. And she just blasted on me. She goes, are you serious with me? This is what you're going to wear? You look hideous, you look ugly. Have you seen yourself in the mirror? Just go backstage and don't show me your face. And this was happening in front of a bunch of other teachers and a bunch of other students, and I was so embarrassed. But there is a thing about me that I don't cry in public, and I might cry today though. Okay, I'm not gonna happen. Okay, so I went behind the stage and I was trying to calm myself down and be like, oh, it's okay. This teacher is just idiot, so just like forget about it. But while I was doing that, in another 5 minutes, a girl comes up to me and she goes, oh, ma'am is calling you to the front again. And I went, and there were a few teachers who had just come in, like 3-4 teachers, and that one teacher goes, look at her, just look at her, how hideous does she look? She looks really bad. How could she do that? How could she wear this? Just look at her. How am I going to let her go on stage? And she was parading me in front of other teachers and just shouting at me and telling me how ugly I looked. And the other teachers, who were also maybe supposed to take my side or just tell her what bullshit she was talking about, were just smiling, and some even laughed. And I was sent backstage again because she did not want to see my face. And then after 5 minutes, when new teachers came in, I was called again and told the exact same thing, and then again and again, until every teacher was in the auditorium. I was called and told me how bad I was looking in front of everybody. So that was, I feel like we look up to our teachers because they're the ones who are going to tell us what is right and what is wrong, teach us about life and philosophy. And there was this teacher who was giving me the blow of my life, and but I was like, let it be. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go on stage and just kill it. So yeah, it was my turn. I'm so sorry. It was my turn to be on stage, and I went there. There were two. I just read 2 of the titles when this girl comes from behind me and she whispers in my ear and tells me that ma'am wants you out of the stage because you look ugly on stage. And yeah, so I was asked to just leave the stage because I was looking ugly, and that's what they were teaching me in school. Okay, I don't want to cry, guys. I did not make this video because I'm okay. Breathe. Okay. Yeah, so that happened. It happens, right? Like, it's such a normal thing to happen. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. At the same time, because I was in 11th grade, boys were happening, I would always wonder, what boys would think about me because, I have nothing to show them. Like, no physical attributes. How will they get attracted to me because I have nothing to show? I mean, it sounds really, really sad, but these things do come to your mind when you're going through something like this. And all these things just pushed me back. I was so confident in everything. I was to come first in class. I was into everything, but just these issues with my body would not let me be a happy person. I was excelling in everything, and still I was such an unhappy person because I was like, what do I do with this? How do I live with this? Yeah, I think from the fact that I have no pictures from 9th grade till 12th grade, no pictures whatsoever, can show you how much I hated myself. I wanted to click no pictures. If my parents are not into clicking pictures so much, so it didn't really matter to them, but if something would happen, I would run, like if there is some wedding or something happening and people are clicking pictures and asking me to join, I would just run away. I did not want to be in front of a camera and capture what I had because I did not want to look at it. It was that bad. I think a lot of people who know me, and if they see this video, they won't even understand that I was going through this, because I always put up a smiley face, yay, I'm so happy, but on the inside I was always sad. So yeah. Another thing that I think all of us need to keep this in mind, that a little compliment can make someone stay so bright, you cannot imagine. And a little bit of just a hint of that rude touch or that comment on their body or how they look will stick with them for their lives, and you will not even realize it. Another thing that I really hate when people do is they will meet me after a certain time, meeting me after months, when you should be like hugging each other, saying nice things, like hearing each other out and everything, especially with friends. And they go like, oh my god, you've gotten skinnier, what are you doing to yourself? तू तो और पतली हो गई है यार, तू क्या कर रही है, खाना नहीं खाती क्या, वहाँ पे खाना नहीं मिलता है क्या, दिल्ली में कोई खाना नहीं दे रहा है क्या? Are you serious with me? I have this very close friend of mine, and she's really close to me, but even she does this. Whenever she would meet me, even now, the first thing she has to say is about my body, and I don't understand why. I know sometimes people are just worried, but you can show that you're worried in some other ways, instead of just blatantly, just like very clearly just saying, oh my god, you've gained 4 kg. No, don't do that. Sit with them, talk to them, talk about other things, and then maybe come to that point. This is not the first thing you want to talk about. No. When I had come to Delhi, I was living in a girls' PG, and there was this girl who would every day just make fun of me, like every day. And I'm such a pushover, and I'm so bad with replying to people that I wouldn't say anything. I would just laugh it off, smile and leave. This one time I came home from college, like to my PG, and she was just like, ha 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 ha, haddiya, haddiya. She was just making a song about my bones because all I had was bones. And I remember I went to the terrace and I cried for hours. I deleted every single picture I had on Facebook. Every single picture. So if you actually try to stalk me and see old pictures of me, you won't find them because there are none. So the next time someone says something about you or says something to you, please show them that you don't really care about it. Not to pretend that you don't care about it, but their opinion does not matter. And I think for the longest time I didn't say anything because I was for some reason trying to look for a validation from other people, from my father who wouldn't call me beautiful, from my mother who thought I wasn't looking good enough, from my teachers, from my friends, everybody. I was waiting for their compliments, and I was waiting, and they never happened. In fact, something else was coming in which was just breaking me. And I think all we need to do is just stop looking for that. Stop looking for that validation. Be your own validation. When you look in the mirror, you should be able to feel pretty and feel beautiful and feel like you're complete. I was in second year of college and I had a boyfriend who I was deeply and madly in love with, and It was a long distance relationship. He came to see me in Delhi once, and the day he went back, he stopped talking to me. He didn't give me a reason, he didn't tell me what it was, nothing. He just stopped talking to me. And I was dying, thinking, what have I done? What is it? Is it just me? Is it because of how I look? Because, pictures are always good and everything. He had seen my pictures. There was no FaceTime or anything back then. I had a shitty phone. So it was the first time we actually saw each other in person, and I would just constantly, it was just a 2-month relationship, it was not a long relationship. But just because of the fact that that jerk left me with no reason, I tortured myself. I was sick the whole time. I didn't speak to anyone. I had no friends. I wouldn't go to college. I was just in my flat, crying and crying and crying over a fool. But what would you do if someone just leaves you and you're trying to reach them and you're trying to do everything you can? What would you think if someone just leaves you with nothing, with no reason whatsoever? And that's what happened. And the conclusion I came to was that he didn't like me. He didn't like how I looked. He didn't like my face. He didn't like my teeth. He didn't like how skinny I was. He wasn't physically attracted to me, and so he just stopped talking to me. And for this 2-month relationship, I killed myself for over a year. For over a year, I tortured myself. I weighed 39 kgs back then. I was like this. I'm still very skinny, but I'm healthy from the inside, from my mind, everywhere. But back then, I was not just skinny, you could see it. I was so depressed. And now here I am, So all I'm trying to say is it's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to suddenly be like, oh, stop it. From today, I'm going to love myself. No, it's not going to happen like that. It will never happen like that. Every day you have to make effort. Every single day. I don't remember how it happened or how. I'm so sorry for the noise, guys. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I don't remember how I got into it, but I think after a point I was like, you know what? Enough of this crying bullshit. Enough of crying myself to sleep. Enough of thinking that people think less of me because I'm so brilliant. Enough of it. Enough of everything. One thing that I wanted to add in this video is see and get checked if you're healthy from the inside, like you have no diseases or anything that is making you skinny or making you fat. Apart from that, everything else is fine. Done. If you need some medications, take them. There is no harm doing that. There is no harm taking care of your body, right? And there is one thing I want you to do right now is hold out your hands and hug yourself. Tell yourself that you're pretty, you're nice, you're beautiful, you're good, everything else is good, you don't need nobody, you don't need nobody. That's it. This is everything you need right here. This yourself. Yay. The one thing that really helped me reach here, accept myself, is being grateful. Because look around you, there are people who are fighting worse battles. This is nothing. This is just your body which you have in perfectly good condition. Skinny, fat, doesn't matter. You can always work on it. You can always try to be healthier. Always try to reach that. But for now, accept and be grateful for what you have. It's the only thing that matters. You have a perfectly fine body. Just be happy for that. Be grateful that you have that. Some people don't even have that. So yeah. Love yourself. Okay, I think I'm gonna say bye now, and it's been quite a ride. I don't know how this video is gonna be and how I'm gonna edit it, and if it's gonna put that message across that I wanted to, but I really wanted to do this, and I don't care about the number of views or whatever. I think I wanted to do it for myself most of all. And yeah, so just be you guys. Just dress up however you want to dress up, wear what you want, don't wear what you don't want, don't care about what other people have to say, because honestly what they have to say is bullshit. There, I said it. Okay, so I'm gonna see you next time with probably some fun stuff like her, like I generally do. And I'm gonna see you next time. Bye guys, love yourself.